Hey, welcome back to my YouTube page. It's been a little while since I've posted, so I thought I would just give you guys an update of what's going on. So I'm waiting on my surgery date for my clear choice for my teeth. And then once I have that, I literally have to wait 3 to 4 months before I can have the hip. So I'm dealing with the hip. I'm still exercising. I'm still training. And if you guys are following me on my Instagram, stunningsummer_3, you'll see that I'm still doing yoga, still working out, still stretching, still trying to build a core. I'm still using Isagenix. I'm still selling Isagenix. So if you guys are interested in the IsaBody challenge, we always have 16-week challenges for you to reinvent yourself, get healthy. I have a couple clients that are on Isagenix. One of my close friends, his son just actually tore his Achilles. So I now have him on Isagenix. An anti-inflammatory diet along with Isagenix helps with the body really being able to have the rebuilding of your cells. So the cleanse that Isagenix uses isn't the typical starve and not nourish your body. Master Cleanse. I've used Master Cleanse for over 20 plus years. That much acid now as I'm aging is not good. Cayenne pepper isn't good for a lot of individuals, although cayenne pepper is meant to stimulate the thyroid. So again, Isagenix has a cleansing program that you cleanse at least once a week. It's not to drop weight, but it's to actually rebuild and really kind of help like the molecular structure in your body. And you know, it's kind of hard to explain because our body runs on electrical current, and it rebuilds blood volume and cell volume, your white blood cells, your red blood cells. You need to be healthy. So a lot of people who go into thinking, okay, well, I think I'll train like a bodybuilder. After all the years of bodybuilding, I will say this again, bodybuilding is not healthy. I am not the only friend that all of us who trained together, worked out together, lifted heavy together, hit the gym floor at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to train clients up until like 11 o'clock at night. Not all personal trainers, especially dedicated ones who have done millions of repetitions on demonstrating exercises to clients, are healthy. You'll see a lot of people all over the internet and YouTube who are in their 20s and they're just gung-ho because, you know, after all, like, hey, I got this great, amazing body. Well, shit, so did I in my 20s and 30s and 40s. And then comes real life. Then comes the curveball. Then comes the injuries. Then comes health problems. Then I can tell you that even years ago, I had taken so many different crazy bodybuilding supplements over the years, and this is why I didn't do a lot of supplements for a long time. And then when my girlfriend introduced me to Isagenix, at first even I blew it off. I was like, oh my gosh, Isagenix, and oh my god, it's a multi-level marketing scheme. And then I was like, I have nothing else to lose because my body is just failing me. Like, it's harder to diet, it's harder to lose weight, what the hell. And then I found out, you know, with the hip and everything else, that it was like, man, you know, I'm having hip problems now, and I've tried everything homeopathic. I had a doctor who had once kicked me off of all the supplements because it was harmful to my kidneys and my liver and my gallbladder. And she told me, if you don't stop taking all these supplements, you're going to be in a box. So The product that I stand by is Isagenix for the fact that there's no sugars added, there's no chemicals added. It's a natural protein. I don't get gut bloat. I'm not, my protein levels aren't raised in my kidneys. So with that said, I'm healing faster. I'm ready. It will take me about 4 months after I do my teeth before I can actually have my hip surgery. So I'm looking at probably about 7 months down the line before I'm really going to be up and moving again. And you know, it is what it is. So 2019 was supposed to be the year that I was really going to try to get back on stage. I don't want to tell everybody to make excuses. Don't make excuses ever, ever, ever. But what you need to do is that when you're in the midst of a struggle, accept the challenge. Look at it as, you know, again, when I was bodybuilding, and my ex-husband used to say, I don't understand why you do this to yourself. It's not for the body, honestly. It's for the mental challenge. It's the fact that, you know, it's the same reason why some people jump out of airplanes and why people climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It's because going through everyday life is already a struggle, but you want to be able to have something that you accomplish that is completely in your control. So what I'm saying to you is that you have complete control in your health. You might have a curveball thrown towards you, whether it's a hip, whether it's breast cancer, whether it's lymphoma, whether it's lung disease. Don't surrender to a disease. Don't give up. Don't fall and think that you're a failure. Get back up and keep fighting, because that's the whole purpose of this thing anyway. And remember, you know, somebody's watching you, and you have the ability to be a leader and show somebody else that life is amazing and it's worth living, but there's always going to be a struggle. And that's the whole thing that I wanted to say today, is that, you know, you can follow somebody else down the path of naysayers, negativity, lack of creativity, and you live a blah life. Or you can turn it around and you can say, hey, I want to live a better life. I want to live a healthier life. I want to impact people's life. And that's the whole purpose of why I became a personal trainer. And that's part of, you know, when I see personal trainers that are online now, and, you know, they break so many cardinal rules, is that I want to applaud them for their openness and their excitement. And I remember being that 25, 28-year-old athlete and working in my first gym back before they ever even had certifications. But the bottom line is, you're here to impact people's lives, not shame them. I've heard so many personal trainers, including my own friends, who have said, well, if your trainer doesn't look like me, you should fire them. They're fortunate enough not to have faced adversity or injury, and I will challenge any personal trainer who feels that way. Go out on the sidelines of any NFL football team, and 52 men line up on a line. And how many personal trainers and head trainers in the NFL are so busy training these guys for war that they don't have time to work out. But their brain and their knowledge is so amazing that they can keep these men healthy. They can build the muscle to protect them against injury, and at all costs, their own bodies. So I just ask that, and this goes for everybody, you know, don't judge somebody else. I'm in the boat that, yeah, you know what? I used to say this all the time. The reason why I don't eat at McDonald's, and I would tell my clients this over 20 plus years ago, and I would tell them, the reason why I don't go to McDonald's, but it was designed perfect, is that when you walk into a McDonald's, you see the ass end of the people who are purchasing McDonald's. That's that simple. You are what you eat. But again, keep it positive. I even learned from those days. So I guess I wasn't that far off from the YouTube trainers back in the day. Don't judge somebody. You don't know their life. You don't know what the struggle is. But if you're a personal trainer, or you want to be a personal trainer, your focus needs to be on getting educated, be smart, learn the body, know what, and again, the top line of every certification program is you must have sympathy and empathy before you ever get into the gym and want to take clients on. The other thing is, I used to work in a lot of gyms that people did not want to train the fat person. They wanted to train the guy that was already healthy and you just needed to build muscle. I take the fat client over anybody all the time, because not only do I need to change their body, I need to change their mindset. I need to change the way that they think about themselves and the way that they no longer worry about what other people think about them. That in itself is the most rewarding and fulfilling job as a personal trainer. So when people look at me as like, oh, they only think of me as Stunning Summer the porn star, that's just a side gig. It pays some bills. It doesn't pay all my bills, but it pays some of my bills. But my passion is fitness. And again, I've been there, I've struggled, and the best thing is going through my health problems now it's teaching me how to write a program even better than I had ever done in the last 20 some years. When I would tell clients who had tight hip flexors and glutes and calves and all that, stretch. And then when I realized that sometimes when the pain is so difficult, stretching is even difficult, I now understand that. So again, I am not perfect, and I feel at some point that these 20 and 30-year-old trainers are going to find out the hard way, such as myself, to say, I had been telling people in the gym for so long, stretching is so important. Stretching had nothing to do with what happened with my hip and the bone on bone that I'm going through. And I've heard everybody say, did you try this and did you try this? For 3 years I've done it, and the worst thing is that trying to be so pro homeopathic and not accepting what I've already been preaching for years is that you need East and Western medicine come together. And again, acupuncture will be very prevalent in my recovery, but it's not going to fix my hip. Cryotherapy. Cryotherapy has been helpful for me as well, but it's not going to fix my hip. The only thing that's going to fix my hip is a total hip replacement. I'm bowing down and being humble and being a humble student of the planet, understanding that the proper herbs and the proper foods is what's actually keeping me healthy now. My doctor can't believe my pain tolerance. My doctor can't believe that I've been walking around for 5 years plus and training with this hip. So again, if it wasn't for the Isagenix and my healthy food that I eat along with it, proper cleansing now instead of cleansing with so much acid like in a lemonade with cayenne pepper, I feel so much better. I heal better. Most days I can feel major pain when it's more humid outside. So, yeah, but I just want to ask you guys to do one thing, is that look at your food, look at your diet, and look at how often are you working out. Because again, I remember people say, well, how did you have time to train, to bodybuild, to compete, and you were raising 3 kids, all of them in sports? The healthier I got, the more energy I had, and the faster I moved. So let me say is that when you become healthy, you also become quicker and faster, and your brain thinks faster and quicker. So with that said, namaste and have a good day, you guys. Be good humans and pay it forward.